So, you thought you were going to give Edgar life the way he gave life to Charlie McCarthy. How'd you figure that?
Well, I was hoping that this movie would have enough spirit to bring Edgar Bergen back. But while we're on the topic of life, I learned a couple of things. One, regardless what your goal is, never try to start a journey at the end. Always start it at the beginning. And two, apparently, I'm a big Edgar Bergen fan.
No, you're not. This is not the work of a fan. You're a dummy.
Sorry, Rupert. I'm too athletic looking to be a dummy.
No, listen. You're a ventriloquist figure.
I am not. Whose ventriloquist figure?
Look, you couldn't give life to Edgar the way he gave it to Charlie, 'cause Edgar was already in Decatur, he was already alive, and Edgar used you.
Rupert, I am producing this movie.
Well, if that's true, then how come this story lacks an inciting incident? What incited you to action?
The economy. My patience.
No, that's what's at stake. What was the origin of the force that drove this production?
I don't know why I worked so hard for 2 years, but it all began when I arrived in Decatur. Rupert, do you know what this means? We're in an episode of The Twilight Zone. I love that movie. You know, the one that they made in the 80s, and then the black and white show was pretty good back then. I'm not inspired to sit in my apartment for 10 hours and write screenplays and submit them. Some people are, but that's really not my thing. I know a screenplay is a part of making a movie, and I do that, but then, I want to make movies. And for me, this is the best way for me to show my ideas and perhaps compel follow-up from a professional filmmaker.
If he'd been brought up, let's say, in the center of Chicago during that, you come home and you disappear, or New York. The same thing happened, for example, to Jimmy Stewart, famous guy, little town in Pennsylvania. He'd go back there every year, and they'd have a tremendous homecoming celebration for him. Matter of fact, they have a museum back there named after him. Some of those people, they never leave the values of their roots, which is a wonderful thing because Hollywood is a very glitzy place. You're reshaped by huge celebrity. But some of these guys and gals seem to be able to withstand that, never really leave their early shoes, and it tells.
Where did you consider home?
Right here.
Right here?
California. Everybody thinks that because you've been in pictures, you've got this and that and so on. We're here quiet. Well, you know what, it's a funny thing. I love the United States, and I love every place. We've been in England and all over the world, Jan and I have. But I'm a homebody. I love California, and that's why we've lived where you're in my front room here. We've lived here in this house for 40 years. And we've been married for 40 years. We were married right in Westlake Village, and we love it here. So when you're away from home, where you go to, remember, is home. we're not celebrity bound. We're just trying to be human beings.
Great land of Goshen, Eddie. You are lazy. Someday you'll try to invent a machine to do your thinking and talking.
The television and internet audience would soon surpass the 50,000 people who visited Decatur, Michigan on that homecoming day in 1948. This was the start, and a larger production was inevitable. Certainly Edgar Bergen understood gratitude because he understood sacrifice. On the way back to the top, he would find inspiration in the simple aspects of this world.
What care I for ceilings high, or drapes or pictured walls? What care I for Duncan Fifes, when nature's playhouse calls? What care I for Chinese rugs, or a couch with silken spread, or mirrors with carved out wreaths, when the sun shines overhead? The blue sky is my ceiling high, a hedge of wild rose my drape, an ivied stump my table, my walls the wide landscape. The soft green grass, my worsted rug. For a couch, the fragrant hay. The quiet brook, my mirror clear. Thank God for a carefree day.
There's a lot of actors of all ages, from like 7 years old up to 80 years old in this movie we're doing, and they're all so excited that you're going to be in it.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited that you're here and that you're going to put me in